From fabulous Los Angeles, California, Hollywood, home of the stars, the magic factory where dreams come true, culture capital of the world, jewel of the Pacific, it's the Adam Carolla Show.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get it on. No choice but to get it on. Mandate. Get it on. Welcome to the program. I'm Adam Carolla. Thank you in advance for telling a friend about our program. We really do appreciate it, and it's how we keep the lights on here at the Pirate Ship. Good to see you, Alison Rosen.
Hello, Adam Carolla.
And Bald Brian.
That is the greatest story I have ever heard.
Dave Dameshek here.
Ace, you're positively sun-kissed.
Yes, thank you.
Look at those rosy cheeks.
Thank you. And Ray William Johnson here as well.
What's happening?
YouTube sensation. Ray has himself a show called Equals 3. Has 8.6 million YouTube subscribers. Unbelievable. And, yeah, I was at the track last weekend, and I think that's where the sun-kissed part comes in. Ray, how do you amass that kind of, I mean, other than being good, how do you amass that? How does it all start for you?
Slowly but surely. The first month I started making videos, I had about 30 people watching me. I was doing it from my college dorm room back in New York.
That's kind of how my audience was. Okay, continue.
Yeah, yeah. And I remember thinking, like, okay, if I were a stand-up comedian, this would be sort of a bar full of people, and that's cool. Mm-hmm. And then the next month it was like 50, and then after that it was 100, and then 1,000. About
you lost me.
A year in, it got up into about 1 million, and then I'm like, and then oddly enough, that's when my mom discovered it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Once I got to that point. See, the thing is, I started 5 or 6 years ago, and YouTube is a thing now, and it was not a thing then. Like, it existed, but making videos on a regular basis was not a thing. And so if you told someone, you're like, yeah, I make videos on the internet, they're like, oh, you do porn.
Right.
No.
Right.
I make videos. I have a show.
Right.
Oh, so you're on TV? No. Like, so.
Yeah.
So sort of getting that point across was...
Yeah, podcasting's the same thing. You have to sort of figure out something where you go, it's like a radio show for the computer. You know, you have to find something.
How do I tune in?
Yeah. Well, it's
Get
sort
a lot of that.
Right. Yeah, but I mean, it's like, look, when people had to explain flan to people at one point.
It's exactly like that.
It's like yogurt with honey on it.
I was an exchange student in Spain my sophomore year in college, and I literally had to explain flan to people when I came back because I'm originally from Oklahoma.
Oh,
so I go back to Oklahoma and I'm trying to explain what flan is, and they're like, "What is this flan?"
That'd be good.
Yeah, what is this flan? This fancy Euro dance, yogurt.
Don't bullshit me about Jell-O, son.
Right.
I know yellow Jell-O when I see
it.
Now that's some kind of Mexican devil's food there, my friend.
Basically, yeah, they would all. They'd be like, they got good tequila over in Spain, right? Well, yes, but that's not.
You ever ride one of those piñatas? They got what they call the Chupacabra over there.
Right.
He come down and suck all the flan out of a goat. Oh yeah. Yeah, I love it. I did miss. You guys may have not even have been here. Well, Alison was, but the Chupacabra was a viable entity for about a 6-month period. Like, people were speaking about it in the news in terms of, well, it's not a goblin per se, but something's removing the blood from those goats.
What did it turn out to be?
Only in Mexico, by the way. Canada wouldn't put up with a Chupacabra. It didn't turn out to be anything. It's just enough uneducated drunk people that can sort of get on sort of the same weird superstitious page. Like, listen, black magic worked pretty good in Haiti. Not so well in Manhattan. A little different constituency there. You know what I mean? It's not going to work well in Boston.
Well,
there's not enough people are going to be into it.
There's collective self-esteem issues. Mexico has a self-esteem issue clearly based on the fact that Loch Ness Monster would kill a Chupacabra in a fight,
right?
And a Bigfoot also would.
Yeah.
They don't even create one that is, that's scary to the other.
It's got to come.
Yeah, it's like a mythical rodent.
They all come from places where there's a lot of booze flowing. Because it's going to take a guy at some point stumbling home.
Whiskey.
Yeah, some guy's got to be stumbling home and he's got to see something. Do you know what I mean? Out in the lake.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's the same population that is visited by UFOs.
Yeah. You got to be pretty fucked up or high on peyote or what have you. But anyway.
That's the answer to what happened to your pants. The wife asked, what happened to your pants? The fucking
Should
Chupacabra.
go from the sky. Came raining down. Stole my pants and put lipstick around my cock and one of my balls.
I feel like the Chupacabra is the only mythical creature that if you say you saw one, it's not followed up by like, oh, tell us more.
Yeah.
Like if you say you saw a UFO, people are like, oh, really? What was that? What was it? Describe it. If you say Chupacabra, everyone's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Finish mowing the lawn.
Good luck.
We'll get into this later. Yeah. Well, I've always said it this way. I know people that are from like New Orleans and they've all seen ghosts and have ghost stories. And I'm from North Hollywood, 0 ghost stories. So after you die, you all go to New Orleans? Like people who died in North Hollywood, there's this notion, by the way, every ghost premise is the same. Unfinished business. Like she just was married. And then she died. So she walks the hallways looking for her. Really? 'Cause first off, when I die, officially closed, no more business. No, I will not. I'm sure there will be some things I'm working on when I die, but I will not feel like I have to get back and hook up with Mike August. Yeah. We still had a couple of dates on the calendar. We need to get to those. He needs to haunt a couple of bars.
How awful would that be if your to-do list follows you to the other side?
Oh, my God.
We have Linda Lavin booked for Tuesday. What are you talking about? I got to get that one in.
Right.
What if your unfinished business was really menial stuff? Like you had to jiggle the handle of the toilet or you had to like take out the trash.
Yeah,
like
right.
It wasn't like important business. Like I need to tell my lover to watch out. Nope, just have to walk the dog.
And I left a coffee mug in my car.
It's rattling around.
It's a ceramic one. It's not a commuter one. Someone's going to need to take that into the sink and bus it. So you constantly see my spirit walking back and forth from the driveway to the kitchen, trying to finish his unfinished business.
That's why the faucet drips.
All right, sorry, Ray. Unfinished business. Where were we? So you start your YouTube channel. You're making fun of other YouTube shows and channels.
Not originally.
Videos.
Originally, I was just sort of talking. It was just a talking head on the camera. I was video blogging, just for fun. There was really no schedule. It was kind of loose, and people, I don't know, they responded well to it. And then a few months in, maybe it was about 6 months in, I noticed. I said, you know what? YouTube needs like a show with a format, and maybe I'll do it at the same time every week. And it was kind of that simple. And so I started sort of doing that, but the show wasn't really about anything. It was me doing the same thing, just talking, but at the same time every week. And then at some point, I talked about another video, and people responded to it. And I'm the kind of entertainer that if the audience responds, I'll do that. Even if it's like the worst fart joke ever, like I have no dignity. I don't care.
Right.
As long as they're laughing,
You're like a
I'm
politician.
Happy.
And you're white as a ghost, but you go into a Baptist church and you start blacking it up a little bit. You know what I mean?
Of course.
You know how to get that crowd going.
I'll I start using the word axe and all that.
Right.
Yeah.
So you start to figure out that this is what people want, and then you start giving it to them.
Yeah.
And thus the 8.6 million.
It was kind of that easy. And when people ask, like, well, what do I do? Give me advice. I say, just figure out what people want and do that.
Yeah, except for most people, A, can't figure it out, and then B, can't deliver it.
Right.
And that's the sad part.
Well, most people can't commit.
Well, they won't do it repeatedly. They won't. And it is funny, the people who say they want to do comedy, they want to write, they want to create, they want to do what have you, but they don't really want to do it. Like you go, oh, I want to do comedy. It's like, so what are you doing? I do audition a little bit now and stuff. It's like, well, why aren't you in a troupe? Why aren't you doing sketch? Why aren't you hitting open mics? I don't have, it's like, all right, then you ain't into it. You're not into it.
It's not listen, people move out to Hollywood and it's, it's all about the land of dreams and all this sort of thing. But the reality is for most people, it's just the land of losers. People don't like the idea of a mundane 9-to-5 job. They've tried it. It ain't for them. It ain't for most people. So they figure, hey, that seems like fun. I'm going to go out there and try it. Although they have no ability to execute any of those things.
Well,
like
the problem with it is when it's done correctly, it doesn't look like much. Meaning, when you see LeBron James dunk, you go, oh, fuck that. I could never do that. Yeah, I can. It's all. If I get a running start and go as hard as I can get my tip of my index finger to scrape the bottom part of the rim at best. At best, there's no way I'm skying over anyone and doing anything. So you immediately go, well, I'm out. But when you see a sitcom, or you just see acting, or you see almost any form other than, juggling chainsaws.
You think you're just seeing people being themselves.
Right. You go, oh, there's Jennifer Anniston and the Friends crew, and they're all sitting hanging around. Somebody's writing for them. They don't have to write it. They just got to regurgitate. That looks pretty infinitely doable. Maybe it is, but there are only so many openings. I mean, it's insane.
Also true. And the other thing, it's really weeded out. It's admirable what you've been able to carve out on YouTube, because it has weeded out all those pretenders who say that this is what they want to do, because it's imminently doable now. You can flip on a camera and broadcast out, and it's out there to be consumed by all the globe.
From my dorm room.
Right. Do you guys, I don't know why it's making me think about this, but who has a blocked phone number here?
You.
Right. Anyone else?
Me.
Oh.
Now, Dave, do you get, tell me if you've experienced it. I experienced it 2 times in the same afternoon last week. Says I called Jeff Fox, who's in the next room doing some editing, and I got this answer. People sound like who they are, but he picked up the phone. Hello? And I was like, hello? Hello? Jeff? Oh, yeah. Hey, man. And it's like, what voice was that? Oh, that was my in-between, not my voice, not someone else's voice. No one, you can't answer like Humphrey Bogart or something like that. You have to answer like a non-you versus you.
Yes.
So
and
you know who it is?
I called Joel McHale, too, and I got the same medium. Celebrities answer the phone all the time. They say, hello? Because they want to not be themselves if they have to not be themselves, so they can't answer. They can't answer like Dave Dameshek.
Hello?
Right. You're immediately committed to being you. And
Now call me, and I don't know who's calling right now.
Oh, I got the block number?
Yeah.
All right. You got the phone ring there?
Hello? See, different. I just put on a different persona.
Yeah,
It's
I
funny
go right
to-
into my Consuela when I get this weird call.
No.
Yeah.
Hey, no.
Right.
I'm impressed that
I
these people
know.
are answering blocked calls. I don't even answer calls where I know who it is.
They don't want to. Jeff Fox knew I was calling him back, and Joel McHale knew. It sent me an email saying, I don't have your phone number got changed or whatever it is, so call me. So they both kind of knew something was coming, but still, Jeff, can you do your I'm not Jeff Fox answer?
You want the AB? Here's the
Yeah.
normal one. Hello.
Right, well, hold on,
Hello?
sorry. All right, so that the Jeff Fox one
That's the
is
standard.
do it one more time.
Hello.
All right, now do the one I heard the other week when I called you.
Oh.
I didn't know, but here's the problem. I then think I called the wrong number.
Yeah,
And-
because you're expecting.
Because I didn't say hola.
Yeah, well, because it's English. See, if you call the wrong number in Los Angeles, you're not going to get English. You
And
won't necessarily get Spanish. You'll just get something other than English. So I knew
Take
I
the
dialed.
field. It's a field bet.
Yeah, I dialed a number, but now I'm curious. Did I call somebody else? And then I don't know.
Yeah, why do you block your identity?
Why
Does Jeff or Joel McHale block their identity just because you're blocked?
the unknown is calling? Joel McHale is a celebrity. Some asshole could have got hold of his number
But
on the
Jeff
internet.
Fox.
He has a restraining order against me. I don't call him anymore. But to be fair, too, I was
Why
also...
did you give the fake hello? Unblocked meant to you what?
it
Blocked
was-
meant what?
It was, I don't know who this is, but literally I was also getting off the 134 in Burbank. So I was scrambling for my phone knowing that I was about to get onto a surface street in Burbank with a handheld phone.
Oh,
so
okay.
it was a combination of,
Yeah.
and looking in my rearview mirror. 'cause
Now, it's
there
always
were Burbank cops.
It's always super confusing to me because then I think I've called the wrong number, but then I realize it's my blocked number that got that. And then I also know, I know it's Joel McHale picking up because it sounds nothing like Joel McHale. So I know it has to be Joel McHale because it's as I've said, if you ever think it's Mike Tyson calling your radio show, if it doesn't really sound like a guy trying to be Mike Tyson, it'll be Mike Tyson. If it sounds like a guy saying indubitably too many times,
Exponentially. Yeah, you
Right.
know it's Mike Tyson.
It'll sound
right? Yeah,
that'll
it's
be
an
fake
impersonator.
Mike Tyson.
Now,
All
let me
right,
ask you if
yes.
this is a cool move or a loser move. I have my suspicions. If I'm at home on my laptop writing or whatever, and the phone rings, the number I don't recognize, no name, just the number. As fast as I can, I will Google it and see if something pops up. It's a business or if it's a telemarketer.
Oh.
Happened today. I was able to do it fast enough where it was telemarketer and just send it right to eVoice. But
Wow.
but that happens, and I don't know if anyone else has that instinct.
No,
or
not that fast. Not
the
that
other
good.
one,
Yeah,
That's
I'll
a
tell
right.
you,
It's a circumstance where I have to be on the computer.
The other
fast.
way goes, I remember sitting in the Man Show offices with writer Josh Gardner, who you may remember, and he was the opposite of this. It was the opposite sequence. Josh Gardner, like, now, hey, Sheck and Sal, what do you think about this? And then he would get a phone call from a business, and he'd be like, yes, hello, this is Josh Gardner. How are you this afternoon? And you would have to look up and think, what, is that the same guy? Why don't
Yeah.
you talk? What do you give this business so much more effort and formality than you give me?
Well, because that's an insane person wanting to seem sane to the outside
That's
world,
exactly
where
what
you
it
and
is.
Sal know he's nuts, and you don't judge.
yes, hello, how are you today? Yes, this is Joshua Gardner.
I have decided there's a very simple algorithm here, which is when your phone rings, if you just stare at it, scared to answer, bad. If you run across the room and dive on it, like finally someone is reaching out to me, bad. 2.5 to 3 rings with a casual walk is the sanest you'll ever be. You know,
Mix in
like,
a shrug.
Yeah, there's a lot of yardsticks to measure how you're doing in your life, what's going on. Answering the phone rings, I think nothing other than the phone is ringing, I'll go pick it up, means zero emotional baggage. That means, oh, shit, I hope it's not my mom trying to settle my hash.
That means
after
if you died, you would not be a ghost.
You would
Your
not be a
business
ghost.
is finished.
There's nothing to finish.
What are some other metrics? Because I'm failing on the phone one.
I'll see if I can curtail
Okay,
some,
thank
so
you.
it makes you not feel as
Great.
dramatic as you
Thank
feel
you.
inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, see if we can work that one out. Not desecrating synagogues.
Yes.
All right.
Phew.
There you go. All right, so sorry, where were we? Back in your dorm room at NYC, did we say?
Yeah, Columbia.
Oh, Columbia. Nice. And
Excuse me.
and how do you get from Oklahoma City to Columbia?
Hard work, man.
And where did that? We just had a tornado blow through there, right?
Yeah. Right where my brother used to live. Oddly enough, in Moore. I moved him out here to sort of help me out with everything like a year and a half ago. And his friends from back home just sent him a picture of his house that he sold before he moved out here, and it's just a slab of concrete.
Why, in a world where half the houses have basements, why not toss one in at a place where 200-mile-an-hour spinning things with cows and cinder blocks in them?
In the
come and
case
hit
of my
your
brother,
house?
in particular,
Just
or
in general. Like, I mean, we there's nothing but codes. It's one big fat code. Like, L.A. has earthquakes, and thus, because L.A. has earthquakes, you have to build everything not twice as strong. If you want to add on, if you have a house that was built in the 40s or the 50s and you wanted to add a wing onto the back, a master bedroom onto the back, you'd have to build it to 100 times the standards that the first building was built. Now, my fucking argument is always, once it's twice as strong, it becomes a chain. Why do we need one huge fucking piece of anchor chain in the middle of my puka shells? No, in the middle of my Italian horn. You know what I mean? Like something else. Look, who's to say I'm going to be in this room when the big one hits? I'll probably be in the den that was built in 1951, and I'll have all the shit fall on me. But anyway, it's a way to extort money from Los Angelinos. But why not put a code that says in a place where these tornadoes hit, we should put a little hole in the ground?
Well, it's very common actually to have a storm cellar there. It's a couple $1,000s for. It's just a pod that they bury. A couple $1,000s to buy the pod. A couple $1,000s to bury it in the ground. Has a door. You get it. I don't know if you guys.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about.
yeah.
I feel like it's
people bury those pods in the ground. That's a cool idea.
Well, I don't.
It's where you would go. Like, you'd probably take your girlfriend there in the 10th grade. You'd probably smoke weed there. Like, there'd probably be a whole lot of nefarious shit going on.
More
in
that
there.
than hiding from tornadoes, for sure.
Oh, yeah. More. No, it's like vans. More harm than good.
Right.
I feel the same way about duct tape.
Yeah.
How much duct? You ever done any duct repair? No,
Not personally.
But we've all abducted camera crews.
Yeah, I've
We put the
duct-taped
duct
the
in
mouth of
abduct,
a
yeah.
couple of hookers, yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. Well, they're
My
allowed.
ducks are fine, though.
That's as I'm saying. Nobody.
It's a good point. What would criminals use if they didn't have duct tape? Because masking tape would not work.
No. Electrician's tape would not work. And
Painter's tape, forget
painters
that.
that
It's
blue
worse.
stuff.
Scotch tape,
No.
even double-sided, hell no.
No.
But could you
Well,
imagine if you
That's
tried
delicious.
Maybe
To be
electrical
fair,
tape?
duct tape doesn't work either. It's the duct tape sock combo if you really want to like.
This is taking
duct
a
tape
different
them out.
wow.
turn.
Yeah, duct tape doesn't. I know this because I reviewed a video where a guy was like, he showed how duct tape doesn't work on the mouth.
Well,
and how
they
you
do
can easily
it.
get it off.
You need to go around a couple
Oh, you
times
gotta go around
too.
the head, yeah.
They don't do it. They do it in the movies,
Well-
so they pull it off and go, "Listen, sweetie,
But the thing is that the
hit
tape
that pretty
will
little face of yours."
the tape will adhere to either the top part of your mouth or the bottom. So you just sort of open your jaw and you can still speak.
Yeah, but still, masking tape would roll right off.
Oh, yeah.
Roll right off you. All right, here are the things. You guys think of the things that you never use the last one of, which is rolling papers.
You never get to the last
no
one?
one, yeah, no one ever gets to the last rolling paper.
'Cause I was
Nobody.
going toilet paper with that.
No
yeah,
one's-
I was too.
Well, no. You will get to the last. What happened to these microphones?
Things
by
got
the way?
really loud all of a sudden.
Stick of gum.
They're hot.
I never use a stick
right.
of. I never have the last stick of gum.
All right, I never have. Dawson, something got super hot in here.
I'll turn your headphones down.
All right. I've never got to the last rolling paper, but I suspect that's just stone people that, misplaced their shit.
Sorry for clarification. Things you never get to the end of, or things you never want to use the last of?
No, get to the end of.
Okay.
I shouldn't
You
say
always seem to
want.
have enough or a plenty full supply.
No, you
Oh.
just never. It's just never going. This is the last of this.
Okay.
That you get to the end of your cereal, you get to the end of your toilet paper, rolling papers, you lose, and they're still
Ketchup,
almost full. No one ever, has
mustard.
anyone ever pulled out the last rolling paper and went, now this thing is empty. There's, for me, electrician's tape. There's certain tape you never get to the very bottom of. You just lose that roll. Where is the fucking thing? And then it goes bad somehow. Or something.
Paper clips. I always seem to have plenty of those. There seem to be one around sitting.
I
I
can't-
find them and put them on top of
I
something.
don't know if there's one in my life or 1 million in my life. They just keep moving around
Yes,
me.
I have like nail files and hair clips. All of them there's probably like 6 or 7 of them all in one place.
Don't get me started on scrunchies, girl.
I know, right? They all
Oh, my
migrate to
God.
one spot. You try to put one everywhere, so you're never without a scrunchie.
Absolutely. All right. Let's see. I think we have a little, what can Adam complain about? Mm-hmm. Do a little opening for that. And again, you guys jump in, Ray and Dave and everyone else, crack-wise.
Stuff. The world is full of it. And one man can complain about it all. This is What Can't Adam Complain About?
Oh, I need my bell. Hey, do you guys find that there's a lot of miscommunication amongst adults?
Yes.
No,
not
whatever you're
found it.
Because
talking
Mercury's in retrograde, Adam.
Oh, is that what's going on?
I don't know.
I blame everything on Mike August. I had this great moment with him yesterday where he's like, come on out to the Riviera Golf Club. They're doing the Jim Mora golf tournament. There's a lot of celebrities. Warren Sapp's floating around there. There's Pat O'Brien's going to be there. A lot of Kevin Nealon. Kevin Nealon's going to be out there. So hold on a second, Mike. Yeah, just sit down on the floor there. So come on down and we'll grab those guys and we'll do a podcast. And I said, yeah, all right. And I decided to come out a little early and miss some of the traffic, which I still didn't, but I came out. It's on the west. It's in Santa Monica, basically, and it's a fucking horrible drive, and LA's horrible. And I don't know if anyone experienced Gary, whoever, Sunset Boulevard on the way back to the 405, but it
Fucking
literally
miserable.
fucking miserable. Just literally not moving to the point where there's moving where, shit, I hate this traffic, but I can see that in another 5 cycles I'll be up to the light. And then there's literally we are not moving. And that's what Sunset is, going on to the 405 about 5:30 on a weekday. So I have this conversation where I go, look, I'm coming in a little bit early. So let's get Pat O'Brien ready. And he's like, well, Pat's doing his radio show. And I said, all right, well, when he wraps up, then he can come down the hall or wherever he's set up and come do our thing. Oh, no, he's not here. I said, he's not there. No, he's coming in to do your show. He's in Glendale. I said, well, I'm in Glendale. Yeah. I said, wait, Mike, I said, you want me to do this thing? You said, there's going to be a lot of guests here, and we'll round up these guys and bring them on the show. Yeah. And I said, Pat O'Brien's going to be on the show. You said Pat O'Brien, right? Yeah, he's going to be here. But it's going to be here in like an hour because he's got to do a show. Yeah, but, well, first off, he also told me this one, too, which he did the, we're starting at 4, but if you want to get here before that, you can get here before that. But what he didn't say is we won't be able to do anything. Should have included that little snippet on there. And so I said,
because you love getting to places early for no reason.
That's my thing. And I was like, well, where's Pat O'Brien? Yeah, I said he was going to be here, but he's coming in. I said, Mike, when you said there's a golf tournament and there's going to be a bunch of celebrities there and we'll get Pat O'Brien and Kevin Nealon there, that's suggesting that Pat O'Brien is he's a sports guy. I thought he'd be playing in the tournament and we'd grab him and come in and do the thing. I didn't know he'd be waiting for him to finish his shift in Glendale and then drive out to Santa Monica to do my thing. I could get him, and he's like, yeah. He's coming on. You know, Mike's the least satisfying guy to have that discussion with.
Right,
ever.
Because at the end of it, when the point is absolutely clear, that's what he meant all along. That's
right.
It's a shrug of the shoulders.
And then at point, there'll always be this one, too. So you don't want Pat O'Brien? And you go, no, I want Pat O'Brien on the show. All right, good. He's coming in 45 minutes. All right.
You want to see a great Hollywood sighting, by the way, a celebrity sighting. On Sepulveda in the Valley, you can see when Pat O'Brien is doing his sports show. He comes out every break pretty much in his very tight jeans. He's a tall, lean man, you know. Mm-hmm. He comes out burning nails out there on the sidewalk. Walks directly outside to burn a nail after everything. Just in and amongst the people. He's a man of the people. POV.
He absolutely is. And great, had a great conversation with the man. All right, so now I'm going to grab my bell, which is beneath me, not literally. Well, yes, literally, not emotionally. And we'll do a little video. Run the first one. Go ahead.
Hello, Adam. This is Dan Weiberg over in Korea, and I think you can't complain about Alison getting engaged. Mahalo. Get it on.
Well, of course, where do we begin here? First off the market, and, we sell sexuality on this program.
Try to.
At least we used to be in that business. Now, no more. But it's, there's an element to that, like when you're in the boy band and one of the guys gets a girlfriend. There's two things they don't talk about. Either he's gay or too straight. But either way, if he's gay, it's like, shh. Quiet, Lance Bass. You know what I mean? We need to keep those fans happy. And if the guy gets the girlfriend, they got to go, don't talk about her during the press conference. We got all these other. By the way, it's a great message. There's a lot of 11-year-olds who you can't fuck, who are really interested in your band. But this 19-year-old who you can fuck, keep that on the down low there. So, and I don't know why, but if you take a look at the majority of the chicks that are at those concerts, it's illegal for one of the guys in, Next Move or whatever the British
One Direction.
I love them. They're so
One
good.
Direction.
Next Move, they sing your song about you want it, but you can't have it.
You know you want me.
That's
Yeah,
right. Yeah, you want it, boy.
Yeah, you want it, boy. The audience is solely made up of people who either you cannot fuck or you do not want to fuck, meaning 12 and 13-year-old girls screaming their brains out. And their dads, and or postmenopausal moms. But either way, there's no one in the audience that you want to fuck or that you can fuck.
Is that the worst audience? I would Megadeth. I feel like probably no foxes in that.
Oh, no, there's always some chicks. There's always some hair chicks. Yeah. No, the best.
The glam girls with the hair teased out and the leather. I mean,
and they would just literally
And without a doubt, whether you can fuck them or not, they do fuck. If a girl is at a Megadeth concert, she fucks.
Touche.
Oh,
yeah.
You make a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, they won't let you in to a Megadeth concert if, in fact, you have not fucked in the last 72 hours.
Yeah, that's what
That's a law.
The
That's
verification process is rough.
It's on the writer.
Wait,
now,
no,
where were we talking about?
Do YouTubers have to stay single? Because you have sort of a One Direction Next Move following, I imagine.
And the hair.
I don't have a 12, 13-year-old like diehard girl following like that. Like college males are my demo.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not into fucking them. I mean, if I were gay, I'm sure I would, but
yeah,
that's just not. I do have a girlfriend, and I'm very open about it.
I didn't think I'd like it at first either. Well, let's do what Can-Am complain about. Weren't we doing what Can-Am complain about? Oh yeah, Alison. All right, so not only is she cutting back on the sex appeal part for all the potential, but now we're gonna have to buy her a gift. And I'm going to have to get her something decent because people are going to want to know, well, what did Adam get you,
You make a donation in her name.
Ooh, that's I do. Yeah.
To me?
Yeah. So, I mean, Brian get her a piece of shit, and Dawson can give her fucking half an avocado.
Just half.
With a cigarette put out in it. But I got to fucking...
It's called an ashtray.
Ashicado.
Stoners actually will give a tray of pot brownies as a gift at the holidays. They'll often do that. You might get that, Alison.
I'm going to have to step it up. And then there's all this stuff where you have to feign interest. Ah, shit. Where, like you have blew it. You have a beautiful ring. Which I didn't know. What I did not notice that you had for I don't know how many days you wore it. It's quite.
It's probably like a week.
It's quite. You can see it. It winks at you. I did not notice it, and I should have noticed it. And then there's other
because
questions.
I didn't do that thing like, oh hi Adam.
I know, but
still,
there's questions that are appropriate to ask. That
who got that for you?
My fiance Daniel.
No interest in, when is the marriage and where's the marriage and how's the dress coming and what's the fitting or whatever you call it, the wedding.
You're not getting those 90 seconds back.
How's he
going through that Q&A?
No, but there's that part of life where people go,
the pretending to be interested in someone else.
Yeah, I got twins too, and
for Adam, it's called life.
Yeah, it's called life.
I also feel bad for your poor fiance. He doesn't get exposed when you come within these four walls. The heat between Alison and sexual dynamo bald Brian is palpable.
Now that she's palpable. I got to double down. I got to work twice as hard now at the sexuality angle.
All right, so I'm going to have to do something nice in the gift department. It cannot be, Adam got me the canned ham or any of that stuff. It's going to have to be something
Dollar Shave Club,
fairly substantial.
Bottle of Mangria.
Red or white? Oh, you're kidding. Shit. Yeah, all right. All right, let's try our next one.
Ace man, love your work. I don't think you can complain about orgasms.
Where's he calling from?
That's an Aussie.
Sounds
good
Australian.
Luck.
Yeah, that's an Aussie.
It's international. Name that tune day. The orgasm. I got to tell you, for fellas, couple things. There is a mess that comes along with the orgasm, which no one makes much out of it, but the female orgasm is that's the smokeless cigarette. There. That's a nice item. And imagine, first off, the champagne room of the strip club would be your fucking playground if nothing came out of your cock when you had an orgasm. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a mess. I mean, there's something that goes on, and it takes a little preparation. And there's a couple different ways you have to deal with it. Let's say you use something from the hamper, per se, as an example, to maybe sort of clean yourself up or to take care of business. You have to kind of make sure that that's taken care of the right way because the wrong eyeballs are going to get on that thing at some point.
An old football pillow with a little hole in it, little from stitching where it's worn thin.
Mm-hmm.
For example.
That's really specific.
That's really specific stuff. Yeah. So there is the orgasm for the guy is good, but it's like I said, I don't know. What if someone said, look, this thing is really awesome. It's really awesome, but someone's going to hawk a loogie and a snot rocket on your belly or into your hamper or on your floor or on your foot or something like that or on someone's forehead. I mean, it's kind of weird. Plus,
a bunch of Japanese guys hawking loogies on one
there's
for example,
name for that. Plus, there's not any science to it at all. Like, if you ever watch any porno, it's you cannot tell where anything's going at any time. There's nothing else that works that way.
Some guys are sidewinders, shooting off the side.
Yeah, I'm saying.
I've heard.
What I'm saying is there's a few things that you do in life. You take a piss. And you point your dick toward the toilet and you start pissing. And every once in a blue moon, you get a little extra shot that gets a little outside the rim there. But it's pretty contained. Spitting is that way. It's not like you take a shit and all of a sudden it flies around and hits you in the back of the head. Or your buddy, you and your buddy are teaming a toilet, and all of a sudden his shit hits you in the fucking forehead.
But a friend, for the record, can't poop in his own hand and then smear it on your face, as you well know, Adam.
It's only happened a couple of times. But you see, and there's one thing, there's got to be a long outtake in porn, because you'll see that part where it's like, the two guys are doing the come on the tits move, and they're in proximity, like. They are in the fucking danger zone. They are in close, and then and you see the one guy like us, and the second guy does it, and the first one flies over the tits and like lands on the other guy, and there's never any part. Those guys are stoic, by the way.
You
there's never any.
If that's your friend, if your friend hits you, I don't think you ever come back. Your friendship is never the same after that. Right?
No,
you never
no,
look
the
each
only
other.
way
You probably, hey, you want to get together next week? Let's play it by ear.
No,
Next thing you know, you never.
The only
talk.
thing that could make that right is you beating off into his food. That's the only thing. And no, that's an American Indian thing.
Yeah.
That's not me. That's not me. I did not come up with that one. That's the only way to make things right with your friend. So, the orgasm nights, plus the women will have that thing where they're like, oh, my God, I had 11 orgasms, and that was just my Pilates class. Like, they can have. Now, some of them.
Yeah, why are there so many chicks riding the exercise bikes?
Yeah, they
at the
literally can have multiple orgasms. Not that I've never been with one, but I hear tale of that. Whereas guys, and Shek, we've been to strip clubs with guys who do have an orgasm.
They're guys who know going in. It's not oops. They prepare themselves, understanding as we're going there. Oh yes, I'm going to mess myself repeatedly. And they did. I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to humiliate these people.
What do they do to be prepared?
They wear slick sweatpants without underpants underneath, and then they mess all over themselves, and then they wear it like it's a badge of honor.
And let me tell you something.
And I don't mean that figuratively. It's a literal badge.
You could get hummus out of shag faster than you can get jizz out of thigh hair. You know what I mean? I know it's been repeated 1,000 times before me. I know everyone's grandfather sat down and told them. We've all seen the bumper stickers and license plate frames. But seriously, it's a mess.
Powerful words.
Thank you. All right, let's.
What are we doing, by the way? I'm tired of hearing from everybody about how the human body is the perfect, it's this perfect machine. If it was so perfect, we wouldn't have all these out of peeing and pooping and boogers and everything. Well, I'll tell you when we'll be perfect when that's over with.
There is a retro.
It's gonna be a while.
Ooh, I know
That's perfection.
I got some.
That's it.
I got some unfinished business for my ghost now. It's got to come back and beat off one more time in the shower.
No, it's got to come back and clean out the hamper.
Up.
That's right, clean out the hamper.
He's finding him around the hamper.
Kicking up socks.
There is such a move. There is, the version of the sneeze where the person sneezes and they don't really sneeze. They go, they're taking it in. Yeah, it's a girl thing. There's a retrograde ejaculation move that if we could teach that to our couple of fucking friends who we're disgusted by but secretly envious of as well.
That they have so little dignity that they're willing to do that all over themselves.
No, right. But just the fact that they can have an orgasm in the city of commerce alone puts them way ahead of the game for me. But
in a way, yes.
There's a dude in the room who's got, some neck rolls and a, pierced ear, and he's standing 8 feet away. That's a kind of a ninja-like concentration.
Then you're thigh to thigh in the car ride home too with that character. That's what you need to think about.
I should teach them the Dr. Drew retrograde ejaculation. The basically you push up on the taint area at the right moment and nothing comes out.
Is that right? I've never heard of such a thing.
Oh yeah.
That's a thing?
Yeah. It's a whole thing.
Is it like a tantra thing?
I don't think you can do it without the use of your hands. I think Sting probably could, but I don't think anyone else can do it. You have to. There are guys who do that though. They do it, and it's basically self-absorbs, which seems almost it probably makes you bi at least. I don't know if it makes you gay. I'm no sociologist. I'm no jizzologist.
Does it have a name? Like, is that a?
It's
like
retrograde
like a
ejaculation. Yeah, ghost jizz. I mean, on the street.
Yeah,
obviously ghost jizz, but retrograde. You guys can look it up. Look at it's a technique.
Retrograde.
You push up under. I don't believe in stifling the body. You know what I mean? When you want to, whether it's a sneeze or ejaculate or a racial slur, you don't ever stop yourself, when something is coming out, because that's how you do damage.
That's when you get hurt.
You know what I mean? That's when you get
go
hurt.
half speed.
Yeah, you go half speed. There you go. Retrograde ejaculation, Wikipedia.
Does it bother you to think about the fact that obviously Dr. Drew is well-versed on this subject, which means then he's practiced it himself? Does it bother you to think of him, or the next time you see him, do you imagine you'll now conjure an image of him doing that to himself?
I think it was just because of Loveline and because of his medical training.
I disagree, and Bald Brian does it too.
That he knew it.
Think about that.
Yeah.
And Dawson.
All right, Alison, you want to give that a read and tell us what you think?
What makes it retrograde? Like Mercury, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. In the human male reproductive system, retrograde ejaculation occurs when semen, which would normally be ejaculated via the urethra, is redirected to the urinary bladder. Normally, the sphincter of the bladder contracts before ejaculation, forcing the semen to exit via the urethra, the path of least pressure. When the bladder sphincter does not function properly, retrograde ejaculation may occur.
You got to wonder about the bladder, too. Bladder's got to be like, whoa,
yeah.
What the fuck? What is this? I mean, Jesus, I thought asparagus was bad. Look what we got here. I wonder if they have a name for it. We got an iceberg, people. Let's go. Let's move. Sound the bell. All right.
This is why we do those drills.
That's why we drill. This is not a drill. But I just feel like that's what you would say if it was a drill that you wanted everyone to really hustle on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's do one more. Should we do one more? No, not enough time. All right. Oh, Shek's got a segment. Shit, I forgot about Shek in a segment. All right, let's go out then.
Yeah, let's do it.
Uh-oh, I could complain about this.
That was What Can't Adam Complain About?
All right, Shek.
Sports. Hit it, Bald. Oh, yes, I'm going to mess myself repeatedly.
It's time for Dave Dameshek's number one sports. Number one sports. Do it, Dave.
Hello? Number one sports is brought to you by ScoreBig.com, the first place you should go for tickets. Save up to 60% and get an extra $15 off your first order when you use the promo code ADAM, A-D-A-M. And I again say, why is it not something like Chipotle or something?
Yeah, less confusing than my name.
Yeah, who needs that? Hey, so anyway, thanks to ScoreBig.com. And because time is short, let me just jump to a pretty brief thing that it's, the Stanley Cup playoffs are underway. I think most people are aware of that. And so when better to do this than right now, I'm going to share with you my favorite names to say in my lifetime of watching NHL hockey. There are 13 of them.
All
Here
right.
we go.
Lynette only has 12, but I'm sure she could muster another one.
Jonathan Chichu.
That's right.
Teemu Solani. I mean, you
Wow.
knew those two were going to be there. You
Sure.
knew that. You knew those were coming.
Was
Now
that
here we
Teemu
go.
or Chichu?
Wow,
That's
that sounds awesome.
that's Teemu. Yeah, you made the list, Teemu. Congratulations. Next, Eddie Mio.
Yeah.
Eddie Mio was a goalie for the Rangers. What a glorious name. Anze Kopitar of the L.A. Kings. Brothers, Jarkko Ruutu. And he has a brother, Tuomo Ruutu. I mean, that's heaven. I didn't make that up. If I tried to, you'd say, now you're getting ridiculous,
My
Dave.
God, there's 7 that are better than this?
Well, I mean,
Are they
listen,
ranked?
I don't even want to try and rank these. Some things are worthy of debate in this world. Right versus left, and andouille sausage versus chorizo, and so on.
Sure.
things like this, I'm just happy to live in a world where they all exist.
Right.
And I'm not going to put rankings on them. Next, former goon of the Philadelphia Flyers, Craig Berube. Another Philadelphia Flyer. He's passed from this world, but he lives on in my mind at least. Peter Zezel.
He's come back to haunt the Zamboni. Unfinished ice.
Peter Zezel.
Zezel.
Then I chose this one because of the irony of it. Larry Playfair is this guy's name.
Right.
He once led the NHL in penalty minutes.
Wow.
Playfair. How about that, Alison?
I can't
even you can't. It
I
bends
cannot.
the mind.
I know.
Next, Zarly Zalapski.
Wow.
That was a guy's name. That's his
like
name.
that.
He still walks the earth. Hey, I'm Zarly Zalapski. I love it. Now we're getting into.
This is Dave's sports report.
Now we're getting into some real good territory.
I'm
here.
enjoying it more than usual. No offense.
It hurts my feelings. Mario Faubert.
Oh, nice.
Now we're getting down to the final two. These are, I think, my two favorites. Former defenseman, diminutive defenseman of the New York Rangers, Reijo Ruotsalainen.
Wow.
Reijo Ruotsalainen is his name.
Where's he from? He's got to be from somewhere.
He's from heaven.
All
From
right.
Cloud 9 is where he came from.
All right.
And now, you know the counterpart, the NFL counterpart. For different reasons, I love it. I love Otis Sistrunk and DeBrickashaw Ferguson in football. But this one, the ring of it, and this is the best name in sports. Former Philadelphia Flyers winger, Ilka Sinisilo.
Ilka Sinisilo.
It's got sinister just embedded in it. Ilka
Yeah.
Sinisilo.
Sounds like she'd be a tennis player.
Yeah, I got 3 words for that. Ooh, la, and la. That's the sports. Thanks again to ScoreBig.com. Always below box office price. Never any fees. ScoreBig.com. Hey, we're under a time crunch, Bald Brian, you creep. I could go on and on about the NBA draft lottery and so on. I'm not even doing a creep of the week again this week. I got good stuff to shoot the blaster at you.
That's
creep.
the world of sports.
I kind of miss Rogie Vachon from that.
Ooh, that was a good one.
Rogie.
Yeah, Rogie.
Rogie Vachon.
For your LA Kings.
Yeah.
He was
It's got to be tough. Announcers, it's got to be a bitch for the announcers, right? Like, I don't know how they do some of these names. I don't know how they do some of the brothers' names in the NFL, and I certainly don't know how they do some of these guys that are from, Soviet Republic, former Soviet
I think
Republic
the one
blocks.
that, off the top of my head, the one that seems like it's tripped up more broadcasters than any other name is Nnamdi Asomugha. I've heard more attempts at that one that people, for the first 5 years of his career, people couldn't say his name.
Well, eventually, everyone agrees that we'll go with KGB or whatever we're going with for.
That's his brother. I work with his brother. Akbar Bajabiamila is KGB's brother, right?
Right. And then Lindanius. No, that's Lindanian. That's one's David Allen Greer. Lindanian Tomlinson had to become LT. But again, that's the worst thing ever because there was an L. See, they were stupid. Lawrence Taylor's an easy name to say, but they changed it to LT. And that's a mistake because somebody should have said, sometime in the future, there's going to be a crazy guy with a crazy name that we can't say that's going to the Hall of Fame, and we're going to trip over every time you try to.
Yeah, you're using up the LT.
Right. So then they just went, fuck it, we're naming this guy LT. But you can't do that. Mm-mm. 2 of the best guys at their position.
Unacceptable. I'll tell you even worse is Alex Rodriguez is a weirdo. And Aaron Rodgers, who is the best quarterback in the NFL, just lazily took that name from him. He's also A-Rod now. It's the worst thing about him. He's an otherwise likable fella, but he's got this lame, lazy nickname.
Yeah, you can do Iron Mike Tyson and Iron Mike Ditka because they're different colors and they're 60 years apart.
But Sugar Ray Robinson.
I was just going to say.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Please. I don't want to step on your salient
I was just going to say, I'm really, this is my wheelhouse.
Right.
Thank you. Back off. I think the 2 Sugar Rays thing is weird, although I'm sure there's some reason for that.
No, I think his mom, I know the band named themselves after Sugar Ray Leonard, by the way, and fan. But I think it was just a fan thing, like you might name your kid Muhammad Ali or something, or somebody you're a fan of. But at least they're in separate eras. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's still lazy, though.
It's still lazy. Okay, but I'll tell you who's
Mookie
not.
Blaylock. You know, Pearl Jam was originally named Mookie Blaylock after the point guard.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what retrograde Pearl Jam was the original long name. Like Chicago, it's Chicago Transit Authority in retrograde, and then they cut it off.
Retrograde.
Also, I love the idea that somebody says, I want to call our band the Chicago Transit Authority, and then the Transit Authority gets involved and goes, no. We're going to need a bunch of free advertising and multi-platinum records with our name on it, because that could... Why? I mean, aren't you a fucking idiot now if you're Chicago Transit Authority? Like, don't you want... And then... They must get. I would like to get the Manhattan Transfer together with Chicago and have the guys from Chicago just going, "What the fuck? How come you guys got to do the whole thing and then we didn't get to do anything? We had to cut our whole thing off."
That's a bucket list item there.
I got to get them together. And if I can't, I will come back and haunt. That'll be my haunting, trying to get the Manhattan Transfer back together. Yeah, with the Chicago Transit Authority, the greatest. I like when one nickname is not enough. I like the fact that Thomas the Hitman Hearns was the Motor City Cobra. And he was the Motor City Cobra, and it's like, you don't do better than the Motor City Cobra. Cobra, he strikes like a cobra, you know, and he's a Motor City Cobra. Who's sitting around going, he needs a second one?
That is a sign of greatness when you have two nicknames that stick. Not that I can think of. No one bad has had two nicknames. Like Deion Sanders, maybe the greatest defensive back of all time. Prime Time and Neon Deion. And
here's how you know you've arrived. You either have two nicknames or one name, like Cher or Madonna or Oprah. You know what I mean?
Point,
it's like jobs. If you have three, if you have 8 jobs, you're rich. If you have 3, you're poor. So you can have 1 or 8. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You can be on the board of 10 different companies. All right. Let's take ourselves a little extendo break here. Mm-hmm. Ray William Johnson here. Equals 3. New video every Tuesday on YouTube and website raywj.com.
Oh,
did I screw that up?
No, you didn't. The website is hasn't been active for about 6 months.
Yeah,
doing a relaunch.
All right.
That's
why don't we give your Twitter out?
My fault. That's twitter.com/RayWJ.
There you go. Yeah. All right. So why don't we do a little news and we'll crack wise. How about it?
Mm-hmm. The news with Alison Rosen.
She'll read some news from her iPad. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. It's Alison. And when it's time to wrap it up, she'll sign it off with zip it cunt. It's Alison.
So huge tornado touched down in Oklahoma. It hit on Monday at 2:56, and people were given about 16 minutes of warning, which is frightening when you think about how little time that is to try to figure out what to do.
Well, if I had a shelter, I would then. If someone said 16 minutes, I'd go, all right, I'm going to watch like eight more minutes of SportsCenter, and then I'm going going into the shelter.
It's hopefully a list of things that are coming up, so you know if there's something you're interested in on the left
probably
side
fast forward. But you definitely want to get into the ground. It's weird. The ground's your best friend or worst enemy.
Well, let me put it into context because I grew up there. So when you get a tornado warning, first of all, that's a very brief warning. Like 15 minutes is nothing, even if you have to pack up all the family, kids, and cats and dogs and get them in the shelter. That's not a lot of time. The problem is that there are tornadoes there all the time in the same way that we have earthquakes here all the time. Now, if someone came in and said, hey, we're going to have an earthquake in 5 minutes, would we all run outside or would we go, I'll risk it being maybe just a tremor or whatever. So most of the tornadoes that hit there do nothing. And there are tons of them every year, and then you get that one massive one.
Yeah, and what do you do when, something of that magnitude sweeps through your city, whether you have a day's notice or 10 minutes notice? It's just, act of God, what the fuck you're going to do, and this is what happens, and it's kind of part of what you're dealing with when you live in that part of
So it's trade-off
world.
for living in a beautiful Oklahoma.
Yes, yeah. So sad. People kept tweeting me that our friend Lizz Winstead, who was on this show a few weeks back, that everyone hated on the show because she was arguing with me, but she sounded really bitchy about it. But she made some sort of tweet, I think, and I had to kind of think about it because, on one hand, I'm very much into let comedians talk. On the other hand, when people lose kids, I don't like it.
She joked that the tornado in Oklahoma must be targeting conservatives.
Which I don't. You know. Sometimes, well, for me, if something is funny, then sort of all is forgiven. Like, I will forgive funny, but that wasn't obviously that funny. But then, secondly, I don't, I guess because it's a red state. But then you do think about the people who lost their kids, and you're kind of is that really necessary? On the other hand, she should be able to say whatever she wants whenever she wants, and she shouldn't be kept from work or anything. But I just wonder.
She kind of kept going down that path for a little while, and then she apologized, and then kind of kept on that, saying that she made the jokes before she knew of the devastation. But this was apocalyptic to me. You know who came to her defense? Glenn Beck.
Really?
He tweeted. Gary, can you find it? He tweeted saying, Leave Lizz Winstead alone. Haven't we all made jokes we wish we couldn't make? # cast the first stone or something.
Wow.
Something like that. Glenn Beck.
Wow.
I wouldn't have thought he would be a defender of
no, but it is good.
Free speech.
It's nice.
He seems like a reasonable guy.
Here's the thing. I
think misjudged.
I think, but it's good that we just stay consistent. Like, you're not just consistent about your side or their side. You're just consistent, which I like. Because so he says plenty of things that piss off plenty of people. So it'd be easy for him to talk shit about people he disagrees with. But on the other hand, if he says she has to shut up, then he kind of has to shut up too. You know what I mean?
I just wonder, where would Glenn Beck have been on the Tracy Morgan thing or on the you thing?
On the me thing? Oh, I don't know, because this is more egregious to me than me or Tracy Morgan, because as I say before the show started, I think we have lost our color sampler in life, which is this. If you look at swatches, they'll have shades, and the shades will go from just black to white, and then you flip through them, and it's like every shade of gray, getting darker and lighter as you go. And, Alec Baldwin talking shit to his daughter, who probably is a bitch, by the way, but either way.
She's not a little pig, though.
But she's not, she's probably great looking.
She's a model.
Oh, she is?
I believe, yeah.
All right, well, there you go. There's my non-pig argument. But the point is this. There's no bodies involved. You know what I mean? I want to see a fucking body count. If you're going to make a joke or talk shit about or do whatever.
Well, this is more like Gilbert Gottfried making jokes after the tsunami.
Right.
Right, which
I thought were kind of funny.
Well, first off, it's nice if they're funny. It helps because at least it shows that the person has some skill there, or at least you chuckled before you called the person an asshole. But if there are, and my kind of rule is, if there are people who are grieving over lost loved ones, then there's an issue for me. If somehow, way, shape, or form, parents of a 3-year-old whose body's not been found yet could somehow hear this, that's horrific. If you're part of a group or a culture and I'm just making fun of you because you can't drive, tough shit.
But do you believe what she said, which is that she made the jokes before she knew of all the devastation? Because you know her.
Well, first off, no, I think she's a hypocrite. I think she has it's funny because I was listening to something Joe Rogan was talking about when he was doing open mics back in the day, and she was running those open mics. So she basically told everyone, here's what you can talk about, here's what you can't talk about. I will stop you if you talk about this, and I won't let you finish that. And she did a lot of it. Her whole thing is everyone's entitled to their own opinion, and everyone should let their freak fly unless you disagree with my opinion, in which case I'm going to shout you down. Like, that's how I think she's wired. I don't think there's any such thing as hearing about the devastation without hearing about the body count, because it's not like someone said, oh, a tornado hit Oklahoma, and then we'll tell you if anyone died after this. They did devastation. They think as many as 20. You know, they tack some body count onto that. It's titillating. You know, that's the way we work. So hearing about it and not knowing that there are bodies involved, especially when you're talking about 200-mile-an-hour winds rolling through a populated area, do the body count math on that, you know.
We should find what her apology tweet was, just in case I am misquoting it.
Anyway, anyone say whatever they want, but for me, it's when people, like, I didn't make fun of the whole Great White Club fire thing, because it seems like a Joe hairband fire, blah, blah. 100 people died.
Right.
That's not funny when 100 people die.
Well, I think people should, especially comedians and these guys who work in open forums, I think they should be able to say whatever they want, but in that same vein, they also have to accept the social backlash.
Yeah.
Make all the Holocaust jokes you want, but accept that you're going to get a lot of shit for it.
Right.
And you know, own up to it and apologize only if you're sorry or if you want to keep your career going or whatever.
Well, and also, though, as a society, all I'm asking for is this. As a society, making a joke about something where there's no body count or judging a person where there's no body count, you know, there are criminals that took other people's lives, and then there are ones that just did things that were stupid or silly or hurt those around them or hurt themselves, but there's no bodies. I got to see a body before, you know, I mean, look, if I was a judge, there's people that get locked up for, you know, vehicular manslaughter. They do 17 months because they got drunk and ran over some 9-year-old on a Schwinn. And then there are guys who went to a Fish concert and tried to sell 100 tabs of acid, and they're doing 18 years. Like, I just want to see a fucking body. And if there's a body, or in this case, multiple bodies, it's different than making fun of your wife or a group or your kid. All right.
So there are 24 people confirmed dead, including 9 children, and that was lower than the initial report, which was they said at least 51 were dead. It's an EF5 tornado, which is the strongest category of tornadoes, and the winds at times were between 200 and 210 miles an hour.
Wow.
More than 230 people were injured, and at least 100 people have been pulled alive from the rubble. It's just crazy, the amount of destruction. Lieutenant Governor Todd Lamb said the destruction, he likened it to a 2-mile-wide lawnmower blade going over a community.
Wind is nutty, man. If you're ever in a situation, man.
That's such a stoner comment.
It's a nutty thing. It's incredible force, which is, if you are, well, first off, you sort of think about the fact that, I don't know, Gary, you tell me what a 777 weighs, or that new Dreamliner, or the whatever the Airbus with the double decker on
380.
it. Airbus 380.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Should we all try to guess first, though? Because that sounds
fun.
Well,
go in tons.
I'm going to say 1,000 tons.
Well, that seems reasonable.
Yeah, I'll half that, 500. No.
500 tons?
250.
250 tons.
I'll
With
say,
people?
I'll say 2,000.
And fuel? All right, never mind. 500.
All right, well, we'll get various things. Right, sorry, man.
I'll say 2,000. I literally have no ballpark, so I'll say 2,000.
2,000 tons.
Yeah.
All right.
Why not?
All right, let's see. 2,000 tons. That would be like maybe like 650 or something SUVs or something like that. All right, I'll just I'll go a little lower. I'll go 75,000. What did you go? 50?
Yeah,
I'll go 75,000. That's the same. But the point is, you take a look at that thing, it gets off the ground. That's just the wind. You know, I mean, it's not the wind, but it's the air traveling beneath the wings. But the thing that's insane. See, watching NASCAR. In NASCAR, they used to happen all the time. car be going 150, 170 miles an hour, get spun out by another car, get going backwards, and go right into the air.
Yeah.
Just lift off. This is a Pontiac. This is a Ford. This is a Chevy. It's not a wing. It's not meant to go anywhere. It's 3,500 pounds of steel, and immediately just gets launched into the air.
You see those crazy videos of the boats racing. They just catch a wave, and next thing you know, they're fucking up in the air.
Right. That is just the wind at 155, 160 miles an hour getting underneath something that weighs, 2,000 pounds, or I'm sorry, 3,500 pounds, and throwing it into the air. It's insane, that force. All right. We have the maximum full cargo weight, passengers, everything. We'll figure this out. 600 tons.
I said 500 tons.
Did you say 500 tons?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said 50.
No,
I was
no,
going
no,
above you. 500 tons. Yeah. Oh, there you go. You're the winner of nothing, as per usual.
Yeah, in your face.
But he wins
else.
nothing always.
Yeah.
Not always.
He's
but
good at
too
winning
often.
nothing.
Yeah.
You jealous of my nothing, Allison?
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit.
Mm-hmm. 1.36 million pounds, and it just goes right into the air.
It wears it well.
Yeah, it does. And me, I'm superstitious. When I sit next to a fat person, I'm like, how's this baby getting off the ground? That guy's got to go 285.
Yeah, plane's gonna lean to one side.
How's it gonna work? Yeah.
Do you guys have any issues about sitting in row 13? Because I remember once I almost did, even though I pretend I'm not a superstitious person. And then I thought, well, if the plane's going down, the whole thing's going. It's not like just my row's going to drop out.
No, but that'd be funny. I mean, not for your family.
I mean, ironic, but
yeah. But be good content.
That'd be my luck. Only my row drops out.
Right.
Not
just
funny.
I just booked a plane ticket today in row 13.
Really?
Now that you mentioned that. Wow.
That's weird.
Really?
You're on my flight too. So
I've never thought about that. It's never been discussed. All right.
They stuck us in row 13?
I put row 13.
Okay. So have you guys seen this? It's a heartwarming and moving, though, video of the woman who had lost her little dog, and then she found her dog in the rubble on live TV.
Oh,
I'd heard about it.
Okay, so we have it's longer. There's just a clip. It starts with a woman asking this woman a bunch of inane questions, and then we find a dog.
Mm-hmm. All right. Sad that this means something.
I started wiggling.
Are you able to comprehend yet what happened here?
I know exactly what happened here. Exactly. And
kind of a bitchy answer.
What do you think of all this? This is your neighborhood. I can't imagine.
This is life in the big city.
The dog.
Medium size.
The dog. Hi, puppy. The dog.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
That's her dog?
Yeah, she was talking about how she couldn't find her dog earlier.
Oh, Val,
that looks like
your little bitty heart.
That looks like
help me.
I don't know. It looks like a refrigerator. It looks like it's the base of a dishwasher or something that the thing is stuck in.
Oh, I thought it was a car part.
It's got the adjustable. It's got the hoses there. It's got the adjustable feet on it that screw out. That's a dishwasher.
Oh, my fucking heart is melting. You're talking about dishwashers.
It's the guts of a dishwasher.
If this were in Adam's worldview, it would just be him being like, "Oh, my dish or my refrigerator."
Looks like they got
That's a hot water heater, right?
They got to replace the inline heater on that thing. There should be a filter. Should be an adapter there.
Well,
for
I
that
thought
filter.
God just answered one prayer to let me be okay. He answered both of them.
Wow.
That's pretty heart-wrenching. Yeah.
It's like they. All right. But I don't give a shit because there's 23 people dead and 7 kids are gone. I'm glad her and her schnauzer are put back together. But to be consistent, for me, I don't care. I really don't. It's nice to look at. It's nice, but I still feel horrible for the parents.
Could you be moved by this?
What if it were a baby?
No, see, what if it was a baby?
Yeah, if it were a baby.
Oh, yeah. No,
but not a dog.
No, because one's a human being and the other's an animal.
I know, but it's still like you got to look for the good in the 24
No,
deaths.
I'm happy, but it's like it's neither here nor there.
But I think that's why this is going viral, because the destruction and the sadness is so great that people are clinging to this feel-good story. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. Exactly.
No,
why is God working
like,
on her schnauzer when all these people are dead?
Right.
You saw it. She has nothing. She doesn't even have a fucking dryer.
What
it's
did
just a
she
bunch
have
of
to
hoses
begin
now.
with?
Yeah. Well, like I said, judging by the coils on that thing, it needed to be replaced in the next 18 months
Well,
anyway.
she'll get on that, but her dog is,
No, listen. here's what I want to say. I'm happy she found her dog. I like that woman, by the way, because the reporters just got to do the what's going through your mind right now. And
Can
she's
you
like,
even comprehend?
look around.
Yeah, exactly.
I know exactly all too well what happened. And asking just the stupid questions they ask all the time. And they do that thing where it's like, 24 hours ago, you were sitting in your, experiencing half a tornado? Or just watching Jeopardy or Wheel of Fortune? Like, I get it.
Yeah.
Yesterday, there was no tornado.
Right.
I like when people do that. Like, look, when boats capsize, guess what shape they were in the day before? No one got onto the cruise ship when it was just 2/3 capsized.
I was on this boat yesterday.
I know. It's like a lot of people do that thing. They do it with car accidents. It's like, yesterday, the person was driving to work fine. Now that's how stuff works. You don't get
unexpected. Yeah,
it's not like, well, we got into 10% of a car accident. Then by the end of the week, he was up to 25%. By midweek next week, he was up in the high 40s. Like, no shit happens. That's the whole thing about tornadoes. They happen quickly.
Yeah.
They were slow motion. You'd get out of the way. I'm glad she found her dog, but neither here nor there for me. Mostly the 7 kids gone that I would tend to respond to.
9.
Yeah, I was about to say 9. It was 9.
Listen, your German is not going to change my feelings on this man, however you dismiss me.
The Doors' Ray Manzarek died. He was 74. He had bile duct cancer.
Yeah.
It's bad times.
Yeah. It did got a lot of living in, and had some crazy success. I mean, you think about how young those guys were. Well, you think about the fact that did Jim Morrison die in 72? Was that
71.
Is that what we figured out? 71?
Yeah.
So, the Doors stopped over 40 years ago. And so his greatest success was over 40 years ago, and still it's like 40 years after. It's insane. It's like the other day when I found out that Avril Lavigne was 28. I was like, you're not even 30 yet, bitch? I've known you for a long time.
Yeah. She's been around for a while, it seems like.
But how I remember like Avril Lavigne was 10 years ago had hit songs, and I'm like, you're not even 30 yet?
Right, I think she
the
started
Olsen
when she was
twins
like 16
are 30
or 17
something.
or something.
Like,
Yeah.
it's insane. Like there's some people that are like, I can't believe now. Like I can't believe that, certain person from certain Disney channels now pregnant. Like there's that part, and then there's other people where are like, you're not even 30 yet.
See, with Avril Lavigne, my thing, when you said 28, I was like, wow, she's already 28? Because to me, she's always 21.
But she had her first
She's married to the guy from Nickelback. Like she's.
I know. Strike 2. Getting close to strike 3.
Are you going to refer to Skater Boy?
Skater Boy was some 41 guy. Nickelback is who she's married to now. Thanks, Gary.
No. Her song was Skater Boy.
Oh, because she married Skater Boy, basically some 41 Skater. I didn't know that was her song.
Why are we talking about Avril Lavigne?
I don't know.
Because it's just good music.
All right, I want to find out what year.
The first 2 was complicated.
She came out.
I was told.
All right.
My girl.
Look who knows.
All right, I bet that what was the gentleman's name?
Ray Manzarek.
Ray Manzarek. I bet you the little bit amount, the small amount of time that the Doors were hot, I bet he did more living in those years than most of us have in this room in our entire life.
And he continued.
If you're in the Doors, you live your life.
He continued to, produce a lot and do stuff like 1999 was her first song. I mean, how can that bitch not be 30 yet? She's not going to turn 30 next month. She's 28. Yeah. Jesus fucking Christ. Would you turn 30 already? Pissed off. 2000 first full album. But still, 2000, 13 years ago now. Jesus goddamn Christ.
What's weird is that 2000 feels very recent.
Yes.
When I hear it, it sounds recent.
Well, here's the thing. The 13 years after 2000 is a blink of an eye. The 13 years before 2000 was an eternity. So in 1987, when people were like, there was a lot of like in 1987, there's like, by the year 2000, there won't be men and women. They'll just be one gender. And you're like, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I
Have
could
no
see
denim.
that. Yeah, people just use telepathy to travel. They won't use airplanes or trains or anything anymore.
We're all going to work from home, and if you go to work, you'll fly to work with your jetpack.
Like the Jetsons.
You won't even eat. You'll just take a pill.
Yeah, I'll just have a pill, say Thanksgiving or Christmas on it, depending what you want. And that's it. And you're like, wow, by 2000. Now it's 2013, and I don't feel, it's 2000 to me.
It's like, cool, we have the internet.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of it.
And that we had the internet, we had cell phones.
That's your livelihood, Ray.
Yeah, I know, but it's we're not living in the Jetsons era, right?
No.
But we do have sort of the internet. Well, the common man has the internet.
Yeah.
There you go.
Here's a deep thought I had.
Mm.
It just feels lately like it's a deep, depressing thought. One horrible news story after the next. I'm not just talking about my news, but I just feel like in the world it's just one awful thing after the next, whether it's a natural destruction or it's some crazy person, and it feels like it's speeding up. And I'm wondering, it's not, that's just perception, right? Obviously, because I don't truly think that times are worse now than they were 50 years ago, 100
they're
years
better.
ago.
We have no problem. We have no problems. What's going on is
it my age?
There are thousands of news outlets, and they need to be filled up.
Right.
They're just not. And news, basically, news follows the same format as reality shows. There's no reality show called 5 Chicks from Beverly Hills Get Along Famously. That doesn't get ratings.
Right.
It's, when they show you the clip, what's coming up next week, it's Cheryl and Tammy have a problem. And it's like, are you not the boss of me? And then there's all this, someone knocks a table over, and it's a big deal. So every single reality show is like, get in their grill, get it stirred up. Man, if you can throw a punch, that would be awesome. But if you guys can just fucking have a shouting match, that would be better. And again, there's no such thing as people hang around, drink tea with their pinky and say thank you and please. So that doesn't exist. Well, the news is exactly the same. There's no such thing as, hey, the stock market's pretty stable and things seem to be all right and your team won. It's not that. It's a bunch of doom and gloom. And here's how you know. I mean, they will literally take something, we've talked about it before, something like Africanized killer bees. I was seeing graphs of Africanized killer bees coming through here. By 1991, they'll be coming into Texas. Then by 1994, they've colonized Texas. They're moving to Arizona. They're through New Mexico, Arizona, and then that big dot that said Adam's house on it.
Once Phoenix Falls.
Then on the picture of them landing on my head. And it was like, Jesus Christ. So in 1997, these things, what happened to the And by the way, I want to find these guys and go, hey, are you the guy with the Africanized? Come here. And just fucking knee him in the groin. Just grab his tie and keep driving my fucking knee into his bridge of his nose until I hear his orbital socket crack. Like, there is no Africanized killer bees. I don't know where the fuck they are. Nobody's dead. They didn't regroup in Galveston and make their way to my apartment. They did nothing. But that's news, right?
Yeah, I remember being really worried about SARS.
Yeah.
Right.
Are we supposed to still be worried
Remember
about
the
that?
Y2K scare?
Oh,
Remember that
it was
shit?
huge. Everything's going to crash and planes are going to fall out of the sky.
I'm still scared a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
But that's how we work. So that's why you need to not pay attention to most of this shit. And now that's why you need to realize that we're just fucking bombarded. Now, how many more news outlets are there before? When we had Africanized killer bees that were coming to us, and I'm sure if you lived in Maine, they did the exact same graphic but heading that direction. Oh, they'll be heading through the Boston area, and they're coming your way. They're coming your way, Maine. Look out, Rhode Island. Like, I'm sure they had one for every city.
Yeah.
And the arrow coming at them of death. So now, when they did that, they did not have 1 million cable news outlets. Now there's 1 million cable news outlets, and they must be filled with whatever today's version of Africanized killer bees is. All right, let's do one more story, shall we?
Well, get this, you guys. The famous haircut that Jennifer Aniston had, referred to as the Rachel. The guy who gave her that haircut has revealed that he was high when he did it.
Wow.
No
scandalous.
shit.
I know. Can you even believe it? You remember the haircut, do you not? It was that choppy shag thing that everyone then soon had after.
I couldn't make that much. I mean, I understood like the Page Boy and the Dorothy Hamill.
Okay.
That much I got. That seemed very distinct to me. This one I didn't understand.
Yeah, it was very iconic.
Yeah. Okay.
The Clooney was sort of the guy's version of this for the same time period. I was told by people.
Yeah.
Do you mean the Caesar?
Yeah,
Where the
yeah.
guys? Did anyone here have that? Because I hated that haircut for men.
I have no options.
I think I had it for a while.
Yeah, yours just goes up.
Yeah, I'm essentially like a black man. I can go long or I can go short, but it's the same. I'm a hedge that either grows out or gets trimmed, but I don't change. I'm no topiary. That's what you're talking about. I can't do anything with my hair. There's no style. There's no like, you know what bangs would look like on me? Bangs would be like me trying to mow my hair down. Like there's nothing.
Oh, my God. Allison, you missed it. One day on the radio show, Jonathan Anton, remember that show Blowout? He was the hair guy. He came in and Adam was like, "You can't give me bangs, whatever, straighten my hair." And he's like, "I can do it." And we spent a segment doing it. And it looked fucking hell.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
It's a pube patch.
It's hurting me that I wasn't there for that because that's.
I got an old man pube patch for hair. I always have, and thus there's nothing I can do. You can find pictures of me when I'm 19. I have the exact same.
On the cover of your book.
Oh,
a little kid.
Well, no, that I had straight hair until I
hair
turned
changed.
until I turned like my hair went through the look. All you need to know about my hair is all you need to do is watch the Brady Bunch. It's the exact same arc,
trajectory,
phallic arc, which is remember season 1. They okay. All right, listen to me, everybody. That was my hair in high school, and it's basically the same hair I got today. Season 1, all the Bradys, all the boys had straight hair. Season 1 through like 1, 2, and maybe 3. Then season 2 and 3, or 3 and 4, they had curly hair that they attempted to make straight, but they couldn't figure it out, and then they all had froze. They all had Jew froze in the later ones.
Did something happen in that era to change everyone's hair?
No, what happened? Puberty kicked in, and everyone's born like Whitey's born with basically the same hair, and then puberty kicks in, and it can go bonkers. My hair was just sort of normal and straight, and then it started to go bonkers, but I didn't know what was going on. Well, if I'll show you the Bradys, you'll see the Bradys, especially Peter, and you'll see the same hair. Just you'll see that's what my hair did exactly. Sorry. Anyway, where were we?
Well, we were just talking about how he was high when he gave her that hairdo. And he's decided to come forward now and say it because he has 14 years of sobriety behind him.
Oh, who gives a shit? And he's just clinging to that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I feel like I've heard a lot more about Jennifer Aniston than I need to hear in my lifetime.
What are you talking about? You're 100% right.
I feel like she's attractive. She's not hot. Someone needs to explain that to America. I wonder if women like her more than men. I'm trying to figure it out. Okay. So she's not hot. She's attractive. She's always been attractive, but she's not hot. There is such a thing as hot. She is not it. All right, there's early Brady. Brady. And take a look at Peter's hair. Look, it's just same hair. Straight hair. And
all straight.
And then when you get into season 3 or season 4, you'll see, and I don't know how many seasons the Brady Bunch ran, 8 seasons, 7 seasons, or something like that. But we'll see it. But look, she's a woman who takes very good care of herself. She is someone who is at the highest potential she can be. That's a little later. I need a picture of Peter like 2 years earlier than that, when it was starting to get curly, but it wasn't exactly sure what to do with it. And mind you, these were people on TV.
Mm-hmm.
They had
they had the finest in hair technology.
Right. Now you can see a few years on, his hair's getting curly, but he's trying to kind of push it down.
That's molded.
And then later on, and especially Greg goes full Jufro. You can see Greg's hair here, and he goes full Jufro. The last season, I think everyone just went full Jufro. My hair, It's like my hair plagiarized their hair. It just literally copied their hair. That's
I wonder if the people who did the hair on the show wanted to replace them when this happened.
Wanted to replace
The actors.
Yeah, I would have. I would have cut all of them. All right. Now see, this is me when I'm, I don't know, 23. It's like my hair's the same length, exactly. It's exactly same. It's always been the exact same hair. I've never fucked around with
Must
it.
be nice.
yeah, and
You could
so
get
anyway,
a Brazilian straightened, Adam.
Jennifer Aniston, way too much Jennifer Aniston talk. She's does not need to be on anyone's list of most attractive or most desirable or most anything ever.
Isn't it kind of weird too? Like it's off-putting when they sex her up, like in like pictures, and she's like looking all desirable to the camera. It's like that's the girl next door. That's your best friend. That's your friend's
Right.
sister. That's not the hot girl.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's
Yes.
off-putting.
I think she has appeal in.
No, she's not unattractive.
Right, but I think she's attainable. And there's attractiveness
all right,
in attainability.
I don't fucking hometown buffets attainable. I don't get that
yeah,
part.
and sometimes you eat there.
But who? All the guys, all that fucking argument of like where people go, well, it gives guys kind of the hope. Anyone in this room fuck Jennifer Aniston? Nobody? Anybody? Anyone? Camera guys? Anyone been sucked off by Jennifer Aniston?
No, you said fucked.
Or fuck? You had to fuck them? Fuck yeah. You sucked off? Nothing? Squeezed her titty? All right, so let's just go ahead and get rid of the attainable part. Because no one I know has grabbed her titty. Does anyone you know grabbed her titty?
No, I don't. Not
All
even.
right, so not
even
yet.
touch the areola.
Not yet.
Not going to work. So, as far as an actress goes, fair to middling, fine. It's okay. Doesn't bring much to the table. Brings about as much performance-wise to the table as she brings looks-wise to that table, which is like, fine.
I thought you loved Friends. I don't know who you are anymore.
I do like Friends, but she could have been played by 1,000 different people. Would have been fine
Because you
with
feel
me.
like Gunther was the real talent.
Absolutely. Now we're talking. That guy should have had a huge theatrical career. He went about someone with some hair magic. That guy's like, all right, if I'm going to be an extra and I have to do the fake talking the whole time behind the counter, I'm going to have white hair. I'm going to have hair you can see from outer space. All right, let's bring it home, baby girl.
That's the news. I'm Alison Rosen. Zip it, cunt.
There's me in my curly straight hair phase.
With Alison Rosen.
Right, you're transitioning.
My transitioning phase. All right.
Looks painful.
It is. I didn't know what to do with it. You had to have long hair, but it was turning curly. But it used to look like this. It was like this. So I was like, "What hair? Where are you going? Don't fail me now. Let's go. Be like you were." But it started to change. It's a horrible period of my life. Only lasted for a short 14 years. All right. I want to give some thanks where thanks are due. Dave Dameshek. Dave Dameshek football program. You get it on iTunes, and you go to his website, davedameshek.nfl.com. Ray William Johnson, you forget about the website. Let's focus on Twitter at RayWJ. That's where you tweet him. And the show, new video every Tuesday on YouTube. Good to see you, Ray. Thanks for coming out, my friend.
Good to be here.
My pleasure. And until next time, this is Adam Carolla for Dave Dameshek, Ray William Johnson, Alison Rosen, and Bald Ryan saying mahalo. You could get hummus out of shag faster than you can get jizz out of thigh hair. Hey, kiddies, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and catch any podcasts you might have missed at youtube.com/Adam Carolla. That's youtube.com/me.